Today is the 15th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Our Gospel text is Matthew chapter 13, verses 1 through 9. It is the first parable of the 7 parables in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 13. It's the story of the man who goes out to sow seed. He flings the seed everywhere, all over the place, indiscriminately. Inevitably, some of it, perhaps most of it, is wasted. Jesus says, get inside this story, this parable, this craziness, and contemplate the kingdom. The kingdom of heaven is like that. It may be helpful to go back to the Sermon on the Mount, also in Matthew's Gospel, where the craziness begins. Listen to those words again. We're very familiar with them. Love your enemies. Do good to those who persecute you, so that you may be children of your Father in heaven. He makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, his rain to fall on the unrighteous and the righteous. Now, in fact, we are scandalized by this, the truth be told. It's extravagant, it's indiscriminate. Shouldn't be that way. God's love, in fact, cannot be earned, cannot be merited. When we start to think that way, and I think that kind of thinking has infected Christian thought, particularly Catholic thought, for many centuries. And there's a superficial basis for it in the Scriptures, but overwhelmingly, the Scriptures tell a different story. When we go down that path, we actually finish up, implicitly at least, if not explicitly, with an equation, as it were, governing our thinking. If I behave myself, whatever that might mean, God will reward me, God will love me. If I don't behave myself, God will punish me, God will not love me. Imagine yourself, when Jesus tells the story of the sower, you're present. Imagine further that you put this equation to Jesus. It's all about right behavior, isn't it, Jesus? Getting rewarded for behaving ourselves and avoiding punishment for not behaving ourselves. Isn't that what this parable is about? Clearly not. I think Jesus would respond in this sort of way. You remind me of what the prophet Isaiah said. You indeed listen, but you don't hear. You don't understand. You indeed look, but you don't perceive. You don't see what matters. You're missing the point. Your heart has been made dull by moralism, by reducing me to a moral teacher, by reducing my message to a moral message. You've forgotten, perhaps never learned, that I am the way. We don't live the life of the disciple by a manual, by points. You live through a relationship, through the intimacy of our life together. I am the way. What I am offering is the kingdom of heaven, a state of being in which God reigns. My Father is in charge. It's free. It's available to anyone, anywhere, all the time, no matter what. All you've got to do is want it. We might ask ourselves some questions. Why would we avoid what is on offer, clearly what is on offer in Jesus, and instead substitute a message that is infinitesimally, insultingly small, whereby we see God's love portioned out to us like pay packets, When God's love is overwhelming, extravagant, it's distributed everywhere and even falls in a lot of places where it will not thrive. We find that incomprehensible, scandalous, unacceptable. God should have more control over the way he distributes his love. The secret text there is, I want to have control over the way the love is given. That's not possible. God's love is unmerited, unearned, always distributed in abundance, prodigally, free. During this week, you might associate yourself with the farmer who's throwing the seed all over the place. It could be a good antidote to moral ism. Listen. Walk with Jesus. He is the extravagant one. He is the messenger of wasteful love. Listen to it.